I'm going to go back to recording. Okay. And go back to screen capture. All right, so we're back at it. So we were creating the blog listing view. I was just explaining, which base table you need to start from. So this one we're doing that. Block title. So we're going to call this just, blog listing. It doesn't really matter. Because we're not showing the title here, so who cares? And now here's one thing that we do is we always go of teasers. So this one and this one will be teasers. But what we generally do is do teasers. We default content, and then we just say, hey, because we set up those. Okay, sorry. So by default, it wants to do fields. And so fields is you're going to choose the fields of like title, image. You would choose all of these and put them in the view. Now, we have decided that we are going to use the displays because we went through already and on the structure, content types, blog, we already did the manage displays of featured teaser, small teaser, and regular teaser. So we want to leverage that instead of pulling in the fields. Now, you do lose some stuff by not pulling in the fields. In this case, it doesn't matter. So if you don't pull in fields, you can't sort and group by fields. I think you lose some searchability. But you can still show content, and you can force using fields, so you can do that stuff anyways, but whatever. So, and now this one, we only show 3. I mean, obviously that's a lie. I would think we'd... Okay, so if we're doing 3 on desktop, so we should stick to 3s. Let's go 9. I mean, there's no point of showing like 1,000 because we're just gonna have a view more button or a pager or something like. So we're gonna say show 9 of those, and we're gonna have a pager. Great. So blog listing, content type of blog, unsorted, newest first, blah blah blah. And like I said, all settings except for content are changed, can be changed. All right. So I don't know why advanced is collapsed by default because it's not like it saves you space because it's there the whole time. Okay. So now that we have those, we have those right there. So we have my one test blog. And now when you choose type of teaser, it's not going to look right there because our templates that we haven't made yet, this is the admin theme, so they're not going to pull through. So you just kind of have to get over that it's never going to look totally right for you right here. So here, like I said, we don't have fields because it's like, hey, you're displaying contents. Unformatted list, you have options of you can do a grid, you can do it. List, you can do a table. Unformatted list just means like, hey, it's divs with divs in it. We can do settings. So now this is where using my Flexbox grid comes in. So we can add CSS classes to here from this. Add views row classes. I mean, mine as well. Sometimes I uncheck it because we don't use them for anything, but if you wanted to, they're there. So rows class. So now we know that these are this. So this is, so there's a couple places you can add CSS classes in a view, and this is on each individual row. So in a view, each row is going to be each result. So this is a row, this is a row, and this is a row. And we're going to have 9 of these. So our main listing, I'm ignoring the featured one. We're going to get that back in there some other way, and we'll get to that. But that's the exception to this page. The main page is these 3. And you know what? I mean, no, we already made them different displays, so we'll just stick with that. I was like, we could probably just use CSS to like say, hey, the first one. I mean, because it's all the same fields. We already decided it's the same fields. It's just laid out differently. So we could just say, hey, first is styled differently. Now I'm thinking, no, because we want it. I don't know. It's separate. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I think it could go either way. Does first style differently would feel cooler? Like, oh man, we just use like a first and change some styles up. And because with Flexbox, we could totally change the order. And like, whatever. Yeah. It's a website. It just needs to work. Yeah. So we look at it, and on desktop, it's 3. And I'm just going to go ahead and say, like, on mobile, it's going to be 1. And on a tablet, it might be 3, but let's go 2, and we can always change it. That's how we want to do. So each individual row, you can do that. So now, based off of my Flexbox classes, which if you're following along and using my, the best Flexbox grid ever made, not that I'm biased or anything, but this one right here, yeah, I already know the answer, but in here, does it not say item classes? Oh, okay, yeah. There we go. An item. So this is not a container. This is an item. By default, everything's flex 100%, which actually might be inaccurate. I think it might be 1 auto now because IE11 just, it doesn't hurt anyone else, but it makes IE11 not the worst. To control the width of the item, you have flex x-x. You can put any number between 1 and 12. It should work like most common CSS frameworks where flex 2-3 will make the item 66%. Now, what it doesn't say, oh, it does right here, responsive classes. All classes can be prefixed with any breakpoint name to make it work on that breakpoint and up. Available breakpoints, and you can add your own, but by default, we have no prefix, small, medium, large, XL. So we're saying small is mobile, but we're not going to prefix it. We're going to say it's flex 1, and then we're going to say small. Because small is 500, so it's 576 and up. That's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, this is just kind of like there's no specific designs on this, so we're just going to make it up. And then we're going to say medium 1-3. And we'll see. And if it doesn't look good, we'll move that up to be medium 1-2 and large 1-3. But I just think that's what we're saying is those are going to be really fat. And, but we can change those breakpoints to be different places too. And then I always like to add like a individual blog post. Like some kind of sane class, because you have these, but like what if we also decide we need to put extra stuff on this? We have a class of individual blog post. Great. So we have that. And now what we also have is we can add CSS classes to the parent, which is here. And we're going to go, and obviously we need to say this is a flex container. Otherwise, that's not going to work. All my flex classes have to be wrapped in flex container or they don't work. So we're going to say flex container. We're going to say flex wrap, so it can wrap at all points. It should be able to flex wrap. And then besides that, we might want to do like a justify content space between. I think between means things could touch the far right because it's all about the space between them. I don't know. So, and then on that really would just be medium flex just for content space between. And you'll see on the Flexbox classes, they kind of follow the CSS that you would write for that. And then we'll say blog listing. Put some kind of class on it. Okay. Full page 9. And what we're going to do, because of what we said we're going to do, is we're going to offset that by 1. We're going to skip the newest blog post because we're saying that is a different display than this. Because we're saying that this is the standard teaser. And what we're also going to do is do sort sticky at top of list. So, and we want to make sure that that is the highest thing. If something is sticky on the top of list, it shows up first. Save. And now nothing shows up because we've offset it by 1. So now we're going to just go ahead and duplicate this block. And we're going to name this featured blog post. So now this display here is just for in here. So this will be like main blog listing. And this is just the featured blog post. And what we're going to do is we're going to say this does not use pager. Now this is an important part that people miss on views a lot. Is the first one is the default, and every new thing will inherit all the settings from the first one. So once you're on a sub page, because it inherits all of its settings from that, if you change a setting, it's going to change it on the main one, because by default it's at 4 for every display. No, just for this display, we want to display a specific number of items. That number of items is 1, and we want to offset that by 0. This is going to be the first one, based on the same settings of sticky on top of list, and if there's not a sticky, it's just going to be the newest one. We show 1. And now what we do is we're going to change this to not be a teaser, and now what happens is we're going to run into the same issue, but you don't have the setting on here to not affect the main one too. So you have to choose content, just this one. We're still displaying content, but we're choosing this as a featured teaser. That one's tricky. That one's going to get you. Now, on this one, these settings are completely different because this is full width at all times. So none of that matters. And then I'm going to say like individual, I'm going to change this to be featured blog post is, oh, but right here, this block override. Okay, good. That's the default there. So we're going to change this to featured blog post. Apply. And here, we're going to say featured blog listing to just this display. And then another thing I like to do is I like to change the machine names, because by default it's going to be block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, all that. And I'm going to change this to be featured blog post. And then I'm going to change this one to main blog listing. This doesn't matter, but when we end up calling these views and the twig templates in a little bit, you'll appreciate that the machine names are not block 2, block 3, block 4. You'll appreciate that the machine name makes sense to what it does. Okay, so boom. Main. Oh, and this is doing featured teaser. Oh, did we forget to trim the featured teaser? Featured teaser. Body. We did forget to trim it. And this is, I mean, like, this goes like, oh, we should have caught that. We wouldn't have caught. No, like, this is just part of life. If you are looking at your ticket, if you're working on a ticket and you notice the ticket that somebody did before, they missed something minor like this, just go ahead and do it. Don't be a jerk. Like, I mean, I know I'm trying to go fast here, but, like, we got it right on most things. We just... You just missed something. Okay, now if we refresh this, hey, it's trimmed. Okay, so feature blog post, main blog listing. Sweet, we got that, but there's no main blogs. Oh, ooh. So, okay, we did change pager to full. The mini pager is the worst thing ever. I never have used it. It's just like a next page, last page, next page, previous page. Everyone uses a pager with, you can see the pages. It's just, okay, so that covers the listings of this page. But now we got to go and create the views of these. So what we're writing, so this will be okay, so now we're going to copy main blog listing. We're going to duplicate main blog listing, and we're going to call this homepage blog listing, home blog listing. And we're going to change a couple extra things about this one. So blog listing, on its teasers, everything's the same. We're going to add the sort criteria for this display only, promoted to front page. Now, I'm going to say that promoted to front page is below sticky on top of list, because I still think sticky trumps that. But if something is promoted to the front page... Oh, everything's promoted to the front page. Oh. So, okay, no. We're not sorting by promoted to the front page. I'm wrong, okay. But we are filtering by promoted to the front page. We need to filter by promoted to the front page. So sorting obviously is how order it shows up in the list. Filtering is, should this even show up or not? And the default filters are, is it published and is it a type of blog? And for everything we've done so far, that's all. Like, as long as it's a published blog, it should show up. Now, this is the home page, and if you remember, we did set by default that everything is promoted to the home page. So this is just, if someone decided a blog post is not worthy of being on the home page, we want to make sure it doesn't show up on the home page. So we're saying it's published, it's a blog, and promoted to the home page. Done. Okay, now this is not going to use a pager, so let's go here. For this display a specific number of items. We're just showing 3. We're not going to offset that. Okay, a more link. Hey, we have a more link. For this display, create a more link. Always show the more link. More link, view all blogs. Apply to this display. Oh. I skipped the setting. Link. Which display? Custom. And we're going to probably just call it, I assume it's going to be blogs. I'm going to go check the live site right now. That I assume that it is blog. Okay, so now the more is like view all blogs, and that takes you to /blog. Perfect. And I will say right there that view all, that more thing, that is not a thing that we commonly do, and I just found it, and I think we should commonly do that. And now if you look at this, inherited our default classes, and this is styled the same, so these classes still apply. Now I would say that this would be blog listing, and then I would also say like blog listing home. That's the modifier. This is the homepage blog listing, and that might mean nothing, but I just kind of think like, yeah, someone might want that. And then we're going to change this to be home blog listing. Okay, great. So we have that set up. Okay, so that does that. Now the only view we are missing is the related blog posts. Now that is harder, and obviously I should get to it, but I have to think about how you even do that. So this comes into, so I'll explain the issue here. How about that? I'll explain the issue that I'm thinking of instead of just being like, oh, that's hard because of this thing. Okay, so to do this, we need to use a contextual filter. So let's go, that's under the advanced. A contextual filter is have contextual awareness of what page you're currently on. So how are you going to show related blogs? Well, you need to know what page you're on. So it's going to be a view, but it needs to be aware of what page it's currently on. And it's going to have to use a relationship to pull in the taxonomy terms, because how are we going to know if something's related? Based on taxonomy terms. I mean, how else? I mean, unless we're really lying and we're just saying other recent blog posts, which I think would also be fine if we just said they're related because, you know, they're the most recent. I would just not call that related blog post. I'd just say, you know, other blog posts or something. But if we're saying it's related, we need to relate it somehow. So maybe we say it's from the same author, but that's not related. That's more post by this author. Related means taxonomy term. So I've walked myself into a circle and back around to that. So we need to be contextually aware of what taxonomy terms are on the current page you're looking at. So we have to use a contextual filter to get the current blog you're on. And then we need to use a relationship to get that blog's taxonomy terms. And then we need to say only show blogs that share this exact same taxonomy term that are not the current blog we're looking at. That is the logic that this view has to use to work properly. And that goes into what I was explaining when we first started this view of this might have to be a view that starts with the taxonomy term and uses a relationship to pull in the content. But it still needs a contextual filter of the node it's currently on. I'm not totally sure, but I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't think we need to start with the taxonomy term. I think it's another display. I mean, I'll go ahead and make it right now. So we'll say it's probably closest to the homepage blog listing. So let's duplicate that. And so then we'll say it's related blog listing. And now this one, we're actually going to use a title because we're going to show this one. Wait, oh, it says to introduce who they would be talking to. I think David was on drugs when he wrote this. So called related blogs to this display. Let me go through real quick and just confirm, like, yeah, I mean, so that homepage listing, what we're writing could be the title of the blog, and then we put a header that's that. We could do that, and that wouldn't be wrong, but I know we are building this with Layout Builder, so I'm just going to have them make that be a WYSIWYG in Layout Builder, because it's much easier to edit, because like I said, views are config, so if we put this title, and we put that header in here, it is config. So if you want to change that, you could edit it in the GUI in the live website, but you are technically editing config, which lives in code. So next time we import a config, we could overwrite the changes you made. Now, I did find a module recently that would stop that from happening. If you edit config in production environments, it immediately says, I'm going to ignore that config, so we don't accidentally override it. But we're doing this in Layout Builder, so it's not like, oh, how do I get text above this? Well, it's really easy to get text above that's not config, so let's just go with that way and not put a title on it. All that to come back to, I don't need to put a title on that. Yeah, okay, if you look at, that's the same description you put there, and so he just copied that to be like, yeah, there's related blogs. Related blogs. Got it. Okay, so we're saying it's a blog. It does not need to be promoted to the home page. So we're going to say on this block override, promoted to the front page. It just needs to be a blog and published. Now, once again, if it's sticky on top of list, that should make it higher. And now I have to go back here and see home blog, promoted to the home page. Like this block, look at promote the homepage, use not a sort, because they're all promote the homepage. Okay. So let's save it and stop here for a second. Just to, like, hey, we've saved it. If we blow everything away on accident, we're good. Okay, so now we're going to go related blog listing. Okay, and it looks like that shows 2. So we will go display specific number 2. This does not have a view more. So on this thing, do not create a view more. Okay. We are not showing teasers either. We are showing small teasers. Okay. So far, so good. Okay. This right here, these are always... So I'm going to stick with individual blog posts. Just because I like it. And it's a style that if things are done right, that should never have to be used because we're just pulling in that template. Now this is, it's just always that. So don't need this. So I'll call this one, like related blog listing. Cool. Just get some nice classes there. Okay. So it's a contextual filter. And we go on to pull on the content ID, which just means we want to know the node that we're currently looking at. Provided default value, content ID from URL. I would say that this is 90 to 95% of contextual filters that you use are provided default value, get it from the stinking URL. Because that's what you're saying is get the node ID of the page I'm on. Apply to this display. And then you do this, and then obviously you lose all your stuff. Okay, now we say relationships, blog tags, apply to this display, this, like, oh, I think we need to say this is now I'm like looking at it, I'm like, this might be the instance where we need to pull the taxonomy terms first. Because I have this, I'm like, okay, we have this relationship, but we're not using it. Oh, filter. Yeah. Taxonomy has taxonomy term. Tags. Drop down. No, it doesn't do it. Yeah, I think the contextual filter. Okay, so, well, now that we have that, I'm concerned that there's multiple IDs. And then what it's going to end up doing is it's going to be like, hey, this blog is the ID of Drupal SEO and marketing. So only show content that also has the taxonomy terms of Drupal SEO and marketing, which is going to be none. I mean, let's be serious. That they're going to have matching. So this is what I was saying. Like, this is going to be a little bit harder. So display content if it's selected taxonomy term or children. I mean, provide taxonomy term IDs from URL. Huh. I don't know. I mean, we can't test it without putting on a page and having content on it. Okay, so we've created all the views. I don't know. They maybe work. All right, we are going to now, we installed the module a while ago that devil generate content that I can never, ever find because they don't put their stuff in the right things. So we're going to say blog, create 50 blogs 1 week ago. 1 month ago. Maximum comments per node, words and title, blah, 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 generate. And it's going to create terms that are so terrible it breaks the website, because terms are going to be created, 1,000 character long taxonomy terms. So we're going to immediately go to here. Oh, it did not. Oh, probably because there's some already. Because I've seen them where it's like, it just generates a random string and it has like a 200 character wide one. And you're like, okay, sorry. It's almost like it's midnight. I've been streaming for 4 hours. So, these don't show terms. But the issue is, like, sometimes you show terms, and then you have this, like, 400 character long term, and it breaks the entire display. Okay, so now if we go back to the blog listing, feature blog post. Hey, that's still the only featured. Home blog listing. Hey, they're all going to be using the same. If media exists, they just use the same images. Whatever. Related blog post, done. Okay. So go to content. We have a bunch of blogs. Perfect. Okay. Now the issue is, though, I guess we can go to an individual blog. No matching provider found. What's that mean? Could not retrieve the remote URL. Oh, they filled out the video URL with gibberish. Okay, so go to structure or content, media, remote video, and delete that remote video, because that is not a thing that's gonna work. Great. Hey, look at this one's promoted to the home page, so it shows up on the home page, because by default Drupal just shows content that is promoted to the home page. All right, so we have created as many of the blog listing views as we can without, like, they're blocks. You can't view and confirm that they work right at all, because the website's not far enough along yet. So we need to stop where we are on that one. No. So first we'll go get checkout be curd 30. Okay. Get fin drush config export. And look at, it's like, devil stuff, blog display, teaser, blah, 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 and views. So it's like, yeah, that's all it looks right. And now, this is a thing that Donnie, who was in the chat earlier, showed me. Get add-p. It's an interactive diff. Get add. It's amazing. So get add-p. Oh, yeah, I want to add that. And then lock, just say, yes, whatever. Okay. And on core entity form display blog default. We added autocomplete deluxe. And you see here, next part of the diff, it's like, hey, we changed some settings on that. I remember changing those. And on feature teaser, we turn on trim. Yeah. Autocomplete deluxe core extension. Yeah, we want that. Devil and devil generate. I'm gonna turn off my mic real quick while I blow my nose. I did not actually turn off my color. Devil and devil generate, whatever. Let's just turn them on. Like, I didn't want to, but whatever, just easier. But that does mean that we need to add. So we can't just have, this is a config thing. You look at, it created some config. It created devil settings, devil toolbar, system menu, devil. If I pushed up the config as it was and someone went to import it, it's like, no, actually it would work. It would, because it would just say, I'm installing for the first time, and it would generate those configs. But sometimes, if you have a module, what would happen is if I didn't add that to the core extensions, but I had the devil.settings YAML in there, and I went to import, it'd be like, I'm trying to import the devil settings.yaml, but the core extension says the devil module shouldn't be turned on. I can't import that setting and not turn on the module. So that would be bad. But I can add get add config default devil, and now you have get add system. Git add, and now you see view blog listing YAML. That's the view I added. Okay, git commit curd 30, add blog listing views. Boom. Push that up. Okay, I'm gonna not do that because that defaults to the master branch, which is not the branch we care about. Create a merge request, delete source, squash. And generally, you would not be approving your own merge requests. You'd be, having them actually get approved by people. But, whatever. Autocomplete deluxe. I mean, we just read through this entire diff. There's no point of going through it again. Great, go ahead and merge. Okay, so now we will go ahead and check out the D8 branch again. Pull. Okay. You would config import, but there's no point. Okay, so now we're going to find there's the twig component things. Okay, got it. Found the twig template thing. Okay, so generally there would be a ticket of get base theme stuff set up, or you should make something like that, because I can't, at this point in the project, I can't just create the twig template because there's no custom theme or anything set up. That's a pretty big prerequisite to getting this set up. So I would generally say, hey, there should be a ticket of someone. So once again, let's go Watson stop, Watson start, CRD 19. There'd be a ticket that says someone should get the base theme set up with some base colors picked and fonts picked, all the, set up a variables file to make everyone's life easier, because otherwise, if one person doesn't do that ticket first, then I'm doing my twig component ticket and you're doing your twig component ticket, and we create the same variables that are slightly different with slightly different hexes of colors because they didn't exist first. So someone needs to just go and get as much of that set up as possible. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it on the first ticket. Not the ideal way to do it, but whatever. Okay, so this goes into, we are going to turn on the quality theme generator module. Building quality software is what we do at Code Koalas. Never forget that. Quality theme generator. Generate your own quality theme. And then I completely forgot how to use this. So I gotta look it up. I'm pretty sure it's easy. It's just this right here. Boom. Drupal generate theme. And what kind of theme? Quality. Okay. Finn. We have to name our theme. That is quality. Extra. So I'm thinking of theme names here. Because I'm currently on quality. I can't name it just quality. It's got to be slightly better, and I don't want to be like quality 2020. Extra quality. Quality Drupal 9. I'm trying to get away from something terrible. With a name like quality, you got to come up with a quality name word to go with it. I've thought of a lame name. I'm gonna go with it. Mega quality. Mega quality. And it's got, oh, the machine is going to be this. Path the themes custom. The most quality theme ever. Package theme. Core version. Yep, 8. False. Our base is going to be stable. Enter global starter. Do you want another library? Nee. Do you want to generate theme regions? Yes. Okay. So we got to come up with the theme region. So we'll look at the theme. And I have found that it's always at least like 7 more regions than you think it is. Because you're like, oh, you know, we have a header. Then this is main, body, and then footer. I mean, actually, this might be, but it's not true because you're like, oh, but we need to display messages to people. And, oh, we also have this other thing like that in the footer. Do we maybe have 2 regions? Like, do we maybe have 2 footer regions? I think so, because you want to have the different background colors and you want to be as much of this controllable in the admin interface as possible. So you have your like pre-footer. I mean, you have like your content, you have your content bottom, you have your pre-footer and your footer. Okay, then you have your header. Well, you have your menu region. Then you maybe have a header region, because like for the I don't know, like, is that the content region? I don't know. I'm still, like, this is the part that trips me up. Like, okay, all these have an extra hero image that is not part of the content. So is that... What is that? Okay, so I'm going to start with menu, because I do know menu seems to be the main menu. Yes. Region name. I'm going to do content. Yes. Content bottom. And you can always add more later. Yes. Footer. Yes. Footer. No. Throw in breakpoints. Yes, I'll generate theme breakpoints. And then what I'm going to do is... So you need theme breakpoints to help with the breakpoint responsive module stuff. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And it can be added on later. Boom. Okay. So look at that. I did all of that stuff. Now, it's like, I only did those things. But if you look at here, I'll open it up in VS Code. Themes, custom, mega quality. And like, it created a bunch of stuff. You have the source, path, like you have source global. You have all this stuff that it just generated for you. This theme, like... And this goes into like the, oh, there's extra stuff I want to copy into here by default. So I should probably fix that. So like there's, I mean, it's, like I said, every time you do one of these, you're like, oh man, I need to, like, I want to pre-process the adds like body classes to things. How come I don't have that? And then I think that the better styles for the contextual links or whatever are missing. So I'll go like quality theme generator. Okay. So got those added, got that added to my notes of things I need to add. I think we can get away with not doing it for right now. But if we go look at like global, like okay, we include Flexbox grid, we include typography. Go to utils, and you got variables, and all the variables that are allowed in those two libraries I included. And it's commented like, hey, quality grid. And they're right there. Here's some colors, button padding, and then we go into typography stuff. There's no extra typography. The CSS, we have some mix-ins. Because, like, a lot of things use, like, these ghost buttons, we call them. I mean, that's kind of ish. Oh, that's right. Bust out is like if you have content. Let's see if this doesn't seem to do it, but a lot of places, like, okay, we have this container that's, like, a max 1,400 pixels wide or whatever, but we have an image that pops out and touches the edge of the page. You're like, well, crap. How do you do that? Well, with this bust out thing. Init, we load stuff. Common, we got some default button styles, form styles, typography, like, you know, some classes, text center, text left, text right, text bold, italic, whatever, white text, because by default it's all black text, but what if you want it on a white text because you have a color background or something. Visibility classes, you know, desktop only. Oh, jumbo down. Large desktop only. Jumbo down. Well, one issue would be jumbo is defined. Never mind. I didn't think jumbo was defined. It might not need to be defined. So the issue here is the more breakpoints you have, every breakpoint adds tons of lines of CSS to the Flexbox grid because it's all a for loop. It says for each breakpoint, create all of these styles. So, I mean, we're talking, I don't know, like an extra 5-6 kilobyte. I mean, it's probably not much because the whole thing is pretty small anyways, but that's just like, you know, like I said, like when we were talking about performance earlier, like database performance isn't a problem. It's a problem when you load crap you don't need. I don't want to load a bunch of CSS I don't need to have breakpoints at 2,000 pixels wide. And I mean, I'm on a 3440 display monitor, so I don't know. To me, I'm in a jumbo monitor. Cool, but we have those visibility classes, you know, authenticated users only, show for anonymous, anonymous users, show for authenticated. No, so cancel. These right here depend on those body classes that I'm pretty sure this does not add because I forgot to add those. Base, we do that. Normalize. We have a modified normalize. I'm pretty sure this is modified. Yeah, modifying to remove things we're already defining. Because I looked at, like, after I've actually looked at normalized CSS, it actually does a lot of stuff that I was like, you shouldn't do that. It, like, sets paragraphs to have no margin on them. So they don't, I mean, I get it. It's because by default, every browser does the margin slightly different. Well, why don't they just set a sane margin on it? I was just like, why would I set that to immediately go and reset it? So that's why I changed that, because in the massive typography, in the massive typo repo, we set that. So I'm like, I don't need normalized to set it because I'm going to set it right here. So we remove that. So like that's all. That's what's included in here. It's some CSS. I mean, it's pretty minor. Because I mean, for example, let's go ahead and set that as our default theme, just to kind of show you, like, we don't do much. We should come up with a default image for that. That'd be nice. So now that is our default theme, and if you look at it, like, you ain't got nothing. So you can't say that I'm over here shoving some insane big theme down your throat. I'm giving you one that It is as bare as I can get, but it does do stuff. Well, we also haven't compiled. We have not compiled the CSS, so I did lie. So let's go here. Themes, darker themes, custom. Okay. I'm on that. That works good. Yep. Okay, so we do npm install. npm install. Give me 4 hours. What is npm installs? Okay. npm run build. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and clear the cache. Okay, now we'll refresh it. And you'll notice it hasn't changed much. So it doesn't do much. Unfortunately, it should do a little bit more, and we kind of forgot about how to do that. All right, so I'm going to try to do the generate component. I'm pretty sure that command doesn't work. So I'm going to go to, and you have no idea what I'm talking about, but the quality theme generator has a generate component function that, like I said, is not really working. Command, generate component command. Okay, so then we go like this. Yeah, so this doesn't work. Yeah, that's what sucks. So I'm really upset that doesn't work. But I couldn't get this to work right. But what you can do, it's not great. I'm gonna go here. So to get this started, we will basically need this. But once you have one component, you can copy and paste the rest, and it's not the worst. But I mean, it kind of is to where like I need to get this fixed. Yeah. Clone in. Quality theme generator, and then it's like it's templates, cd templates, theme, sample component. Oh, does it not put in that sample component? Okay, so we do doc root themes, custom, mega source, blah, 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 make directory components. I need to confirm because there's this right here. Components. Name it that. Okay. And then we say components, and then we go copy recursively code quality theme generator templates theme sample component to there. Okay, so then I mean like I said, this is not how it's supposed to work. Sample component.twig, and this is where this is supposed to do stuff, and so this will be mega quality, and this will be sample component component machine name class sample component. Okay, then we could probably do like reply up here component machine name. Oh, we gotta do this. To be Okay. Okay, great. So this is the base of what you need for the UI pattern stuff that one day the quality theme generator will generate for you instead of having to do this, which means not that much work, but like, oh, label should be component name, sample component. Okay. And then this is another thing that like happens that, oh, and then here's another thing. So, okay, so then we go new, sorry, I'm terrible at this. Templates. Okay, so we have these components, we have this templates directory, we have this doing that, and then the other thing it's supposed to do is it's supposed to add it here. So, because when we do, I'll go ahead and split this right. So you'll see here, this says, I'm going to attach the library mega quality sample component. Well, here's our libraries file. It's also supposed to say sample component. And if I go back to here, or I think it's generator, component generator. I don't know. Doesn't work. Okay. So you do CSS component dist CSS sample component. That's there. Boom. Okay. So now we'll go fin Drupal CRL. See if make sure that doesn't break everything. We'll exit out of here because we're done with that, and we'll go and run the npm build. Hey, no empty blocks allowed. So it's upset about my empty block, but whatever. Go refresh this. Okay, great. Still got a website, and now you do here patterns. I think unexpected error. That's something. Fin logs. So if you get unexpected error, you can do this. And it says, hey, templates mega quality sample component.twig is not defined. That is because it is. Comp own ent. Okay, so it's probably an issue with mega quality. Ah, this was another bug that needs to be tabbed in. Once this is better, hey, look at that. So you can see, look at here. Now we go to this patterns page, and you see there's a sample component, and it looks like a thing. So that is our UI component, and then based off of what you put here, it says, hey, there's a heading and a body, and the heading is a label of heading, and it has this preview, blah, 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 and so you have heading and body. Perfect. So we are making this. Okay? So we are calling that stack template. So it's going to be called stack template. So I'm going to go ahead and copy sample component, and I'm going to go ahead and paste and call rename. It's called stack because there's no point calling it stack component. So stack rename. And you need to change this to be called stack. Standard looking card. Template is stack. 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 Okay. Oops. All right. Stack that twig. So this is where like the generator comes in handy, because this is a lot of crap to copy and paste a million times every time you want to make a thing. Okay, then we do. I'm gonna just copy this. Oh, called global styling. That is. Okay, that will help. Okay. Run the build, run that. Hey, look at, you know how previously I was like, look at the body doesn't change. Turns out I was just wrong. Here you go. It looks so much better. But it didn't change too much if you think about it. More water, please. Okay. So we are creating this stack component. So what I like to do is I'm going to gonna duplicate this tab, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it up on my other display so I can go here and just kind of visualize what's there. And I'm going to copy here, because this right here is where it says, hey, these are the fields we want to use. So I'm going to paste that there. And so I just need to make the HTML for that. So I would look at it. So it's section. This is definitely not a section. This should be a div. Like I mean, the difference between div and section is absolutely nothing. But this is a div, not a section. I'll tell you that much. Okay, so we have the div there. Okay, so then we will do an A tag. With you putting the URL. Ah! Okay, need to copy this. Then reverse. Save. I was messing with sample component. Okay, so then we're going to do a ref, because like I said, this entire thing should be clickable. And then this is where like the twig comes in. Like, hey, we're going to be passing in whatever this A tag should go to, so who cares? So you as the person just like, I don't know, it's an A tag, it does stuff. We're going to go ahead and say class equals, and so we use a BEM style class, so it's just going to be stack link. Easy. You don't have to overthink things, just get them done. Okay, so stack with that. So then we have a top and a bottom, and I am going to break it into two different sections because we have to overlay that blog and video thing into, oh, you know what? Let's let's be nice to you guys and do this. Like, I have an ultra wide monitor. Okay. Gonna make this wrong way. Okay, and we're gonna get rid of this thing. Boom. Okay. So you look at it, and we have like, we show this blog and the video thing there. So we need a way to put that in there. So I'm gonna make a stack head and a stack body. So then we're gonna do like div the class of stack header. Okay, and we'll do stack like body. Ugh. Okay, I mean, then the classes are like, I don't know, they're whatever you want them to be. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, then inside the header, it looks like we are just doing the type and the image. Now, this is a thing like you just have to learn from Drupal, that for the image, you're just going to do image. You're not going to do an image with a source and stuff like that, because Drupal's probably going to be giving us a picture element with all that stuff in it. So you just want to take whatever they give us and just print it there. So, but what we will do is we will, once again, you know, why wouldn't you wrap that in head? So stack, header, image. You can do like header, image, but I feel like that might be invalid, Bem. I'm not sure. I feel like I've gotten an error on that one before. And then we're going to go ahead and just call it image. There's no point of trying to be fancy or anything like that. Class equals stack header type. And one thing to know is we do have access to all of our flex classes and everything like that, but on this one, it's nothing. It just displays what is there. And then we're going to go ahead and call this type. Great, so that should do that. And then we go to stack body, and it looks like it is just body truncated. It's just body. So we might need to, well, we'll see. We'll see what we have to do. Boom. There you go. So we have that. Okay, so then one thing we need to do is then go to this, and I'm going to go split it to make your life a little bit easier. So now we see here, it shows these couple fields. We need to change this. We're not doing heading, so we'll do, this is, so we have URL. Oh, we do have title. Oh, yeah, we do have title. So we have to do stack body. I think you're going to just do that. Title. We're going to do title and body. The title is going to be like an H something, H2. And so it's going to already be. That should probably be fine. If we end up needing to add an extra div around those two, we can. I sure hope we don't. Depending on, I mean, they should come pre-wrapped in divs from Drupal for us. So we're going to have a title. And I say title here because the title and heading is basically the same. Title. Description, title of the blog post, preview. I'll stick with what he has here. Bring sanity to your Git workflow. Okay. Body of the blog. Yeah, that seems fine. Why not? Now, and we might, just to show you, like, we might end up doing this right here. We might have to do, like, div with a class stack body more. And then do, like, now this is what we do. I mean, read more pipe T. So what that's saying is like, hey, that's a read more, but we want this to be translatable, so you do the pipe T. I think I'm gonna do this because we're not gonna get that read more in there. So yeah. Okay, so title. So then we'll do URL, and that's gonna be a type of text label URL
description URL of the blog. Preview. Just gonna go ahead and do a pound. Okay, so we got title, URL, image, body. That's it. Oh, type. Okay, so image is a type. Renderable label image description image of blog, and then we go preview, and this is like a full thing, and so we go to place bear, because why not do a placeholder image. Okay, so now we need to look at the design and kind of get an idea that is what I like to do. Nope, no, I don't like to do that. No. I like to inspect, go large, and so like this is as big as it's ever going to be, and back to bottom. I wonder if I just don't have the ruler and stuff on here. Okay, sorry. Just trying to get... There we go. Oh, that's the ruler. Yeah, I want to measure a specific thing. So we do this. Boom. What is that? 350 by 205. Great. That's what we'll do. Don't care. So we'll do place bear right here. Boom. Preview. Is that 350 by 205? Is that what I said? I don't remember. Yes, 350, 205. But this is actually going to be like IMG SRC equal that. Okay. Image. Okay, so then type is type. Oh, that's probably fine. Text. Preview. Blog. Oh. Okay, so what we have to do is be type, and then we're going to have to be like this. We're going to pass in the type twice. So, because what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, stack header type, and if it is video, it's that color. If it's blog, it's that color. So we're going to end up doing that. Okay, so this actually right here, that seems decent to me. So what we're going to end up doing here is we're going to clear the cache, because anytime you do a twig change or a YAML change, you basically have to clear cache, even though like no caching's turned on, all that crap is cached. So we'll go back to the pattern library, and we'll confirm that this it's all broken. Fin logs. Stack component is missing. Okay, so what do we got wrong here? Oh, is stack. It's calling stack libraries. Stack exists. Okay, stack UI patterns. Stack. Sometimes can we say stack? It is all there. Under source components, stack. Stack UI patterns YAML. Okay. Drupal CR all. Clear the cache just for fun. I was pretty sure it was there.
I'm like, right, it was there, and then we did stuff and we broke it. So I'm assuming there is an issue. I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna say type up. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do post type. Post type. I do think it's very possible that type is a reserved. Ooh. Okay. But yeah, that's very possible that type was a reserved word, so it didn't let us do that. So I'm going to remove that and see what happens. But I mean, it's unfortunate we weren't getting any kind of error. Hey, what do you know? That was it. Okay. Woo. Oh, that's right. The whole thing's clickable. So we go back to the design, and we think about it, and it is, you have the image. If that type did not come through, I wonder why. Type is empty. Okay. I wonder if that's a clearing cache type of thing, or did I screw something up? Post underscore type. Post underscore type. Post underscore type. Oh, I did not actually save the twig template. There you go. Great. It's all there. Obviously not styled. Now, one thing that people accidentally fall for is that these components, as much as possible, we don't want to be setting static heights and widths on them. Wherever they're placed is going to be determining the heights and widths. And we already have a static width on the image, so we're kind of stuck there. But you don't want to style these to be like, oh, well, it's max width to 350 because that's the image. Because that's terrible. It's a responsive world we live in. Okay, so, but we're close. And now we should be able to do this without writing too much CSS. We do need to go and grab our orange. So we got color black, color white. I'm going to do color orange. And this is how I get colors. I don't know how other people get colors, but that's what I do. I make a fake color. And then I'm able to get stuff. I mean, it just looks like we got black, white, and orange. So color orange should do it. So then we're going to go to stack SCSS. We have stack is what we are in. And because we use BEM and everything like this and we're scoping our styles, we shouldn't be stepping over ourselves too much. Now, but we do say that stacks themselves actually do not have that border. That is the body. So we're just gonna go. Okay, so we do need to do stuff like stack, link, color black to make sure the font and inside of there is black and not turning to blue. Text decoration none. Looking at that. Yeah, I mean the rest of it looks fine. I don't see like a focus or anything weird happening on it, so it should be good there. Okay, so that's stack link, and then we're gonna go stack header, and then position relative, really, I think is all we need there. And then, so stack header type position absolute. Oh, that should, oh, well, man, okay. Ooh. I think what we need to do here is this will be like a, with also like a class of button. I
think I'm going to do that, and I want to see what that does, because a button, I mean, it's kind of a button. It's a small button, but it's kind of a button. Okay, so type is absolute. We're going to go bottom, I don't know, we'll go like 10 pixels, left 10 pixels. I mean, normally don't do pixels, but I mean, that's definitely a pixels thing. We don't want to do percent on that, because we just want it, just not touching the edge. So bottom and left there, boom, and then we want to say like and blog. Okay. So then we do text transform uppercase, and then we say in here we need to go to our UI thing. Not that one. The stack, and this needs to be blog. We need these to come across as lowercase because we are using them as classes. So and blog, we do that just changes the type of button it is. Okay, so let's go to our mixin. This is where we got to use our mixin, and it is a button ghost mono, not button ghost mono. There should be like a button. Oh yeah. You can. I think you can pass in the color, right? There's not. Common buttons. Button. I don't know. I'll just keep it button for now. And I will just do like this. Background, color, orange, color, white. Okay. And class video. Keep the same. We'll keep that the same and just see. We'll see what happens. Whatever. Okay, because we're only passing on blog anyways. Okay, so type there. Okay, now we go to stack header body. Oh, just stack body. Sorry, stack body. Okay, so one thing I think we're gonna run into is the issue of that was actually touching totally. But so we do border. Okay, so I'm going to do border. That, it looks like a 2 pixel solid color orange. And then we go border top 0. Okay, but then that also has a padding of 15 pixels. So clear the cache, do CSS, and I only need to clear cache because I did make a change in the UI thing. Okay, so let's go here and refresh. Okay, like, you know what? Not terrible, because I mean, what this would really be viewed at is, this, and like, hey, like I said, there it touches. Oh, how come the title? Okay, there's that. I'm pretty sure that this right here, okay, title, because based off what we had said is these are going to come through as things like this. Let me do P's for this. I mean, it might not be P's, it'll probably just be like a div. And I don't want to put classes on it or anything like that because I don't want to style it off of like being like, oh, well, of course it'll be this class, because you can't guarantee that for anytime this component is used. You just want to say like, hey, you got to wrap the body in some kind of div and you got to put the title in some kind of header. And I could force the H2. I could force the H2 in the template. Yeah, let's do that. So we do H2. I mean, the problem is, like, what if there shouldn't be an H2? Like, I don't know. Stack body title. So to get that from Drupal is a little bit harder, because then we have to make sure we get the title as just plain text. Not undoable, but it is harder. And then if we do that, then we don't care about the body. Do we? Let's put the body in a thing. So never, ever, 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 ever do it in a p tag because it's going to come across in a div or another p tag and it's just not going to work. So you just do it in a div. So stack body. Ugh. So sometimes like you get into stuff you're like, I don't know, this is just terrible. But I mean, like, realistically, this is not terrible in the grand scheme of things of how terrible some websites are. And I mean, we're a couple minutes into our website. It's not terrible yet. Don't worry about it. It's like, when I'm putting stack body as a class name, I'm like, oh, what am I doing? What am I even doing right now? All right, we will refresh this. You know, and it does look a little bit better. We do run into, like, now this H2 has way too much padding on it. So maybe we say on these ones, we got to adjust the padding. And now we got to say these images are 100%. Padding 0. Margin 0. Display. Okay. So we go here and we say blah, 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 blah. Stack header image. And we know it's going to be an image. Oh, we don't. So we don't know. We want to say that or picture. It's going to be one of those. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. So let's just cover both. We're going to want to say display block. Width 100%. 100% height auto. So we're saying, hey, just fill the container as much as you can. Okay, that did that. And then we're going to go to under stack body. We're going to do stack body title. We know it's an H2. And we need to say like margin. We need to adjust the margins because it's way too much. Oh, it's line height. Can we just say like line height 1 rem? That looks better. And I will say I am personally. Ooh, if we got rid of that padding on top, that would help too. So I'm personally not a fan of rems, but this is one of the instances I don't want to change. I don't want to come up with responsive padding for, or no, it's not padding, it's line height. I don't want to come up with responsive line heights for these H2s because the H2s are already responsive. I just want to say it's by default, it's double because that's supposed to be some good, what's that, vertical rhythm for headers. In this teaser, I don't care as much on the actual blog posts. I would stick more to like, no, this is what's established, good vertical rhythm. But maybe, and I don't think that looks bad. I mean, I don't know. I also never thought any of that stuff like that's like a lot. But and then so I don't care. But I don't. Yeah, I was saying I don't want to override the responsive stuff and come up with my own responsive styles to do it. And so this is what I don't care what size it is. We're sticking to the default. I just want to use rems. But generally, I don't like rems because I think it's just an abstraction that is dumb because clients don't understand rems and they don't understand that. And they're like, no, I want the hero image to be 70 pixels tall. And you're like, but we're using rems. And so that's 34.75 rems. And you're like, but at that point, why not just use pixels? I mean, I think rems are great if you're saying 1 or 2 or 0.5. Like, if you're just like, I just want it to be double. I don't care. But when you're trying to get very specific, like I remember in Foundation, they had a rem calculator, and you'd say, make this rem, make 50 pixel, make it 50 pixels, but in rems. Why? You've written in your CSS the pixel value, and you're converting it to rems. Just be like, no, it's rems, because that's cool. And just like that's against the entire nature of why rems exist. Okay, now I've completely forgot what I was doing. Padding. Okay, padding. Okay, so we're doing that. Clear cache, do that. Thank you. I did padding bad. See, look at that. Once you get to here, I don't think it... Oh. See, this is where media queries need to be container aware, which, I mean, I thought that was part of the spec that they were working on. I don't think it's a thing. But they need to be container aware, because this is going to take the media queries and be really big, but on a bigger screen. But the issue is it needs to stay this size, because this is never going to get wider than this. Okay, so the issue is I need to set margin, not line height, to... I'll at least do margin top. Okay, so I've been running build. There is a watch command built into this. But the issue with watches commands is anytime you add like a new CSS file or anything like that, you have to rerun it because it's not being watched because the file didn't exist. So that's all. And okay, so it looks like caching did get turned on. I'm pretty sure that is a default setting. Yes, it is. It does the aggregation by default, and we don't want that. Okay, I was like, because it shouldn't... I mean, it's a CSS change. Hey, there we go. Oh, man. Man, that's... Woo! That's a lot of line height. I think we should also stick with the line height one. But that's... Okay, but we do that. We do that and we undo the padding. And this is... I mean, you've done CSS before. I'm sure you just know that this is just part of the game. You're like, oh, well, I changed this because that helps. Oh, well, then that broke this other thing. It's the old lampshade thing, like... 42. Oh. I don't know. Like, I mean, that does... I'm not saying that this matches exactly the design. It clearly does not. Oh, and that read more needs to be, like, bold and black and uppercase. So let's go ahead and do that. I mean, because I want to get it at least closer. But what I like about doing it the component way is, like, it doesn't feel like you really wrote that much CSS. If you look at how much CSS is on the page to, like... I mean, that kind of looks like it. Very little CSS has been written in the making of this, which is, I love it. Text transform, uppercase, font, weight, bold. It does look to be slightly larger, but a lot of this stuff I'm skipping because I don't have. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe I have access to that in XD because sometimes it feels like you do, sometimes you don't. I don't see the inspect. I thought there was like another thing where you could actually inspect and see stuff. I don't see it, so it's one of those like I don't want to commit to stuff because it's not set in stone. So I'm just gonna be like, I don't know, kind of close. But yeah. Okay, so now we have done that. Oh, I'll add some margin to the top. Okay, so we've added the margin top. So now what we need to do is we need to place that view on the page that prints 3 of these and see how it looks. So in doing that, what we need to do, we need to do a couple things first. So we need to do content types, basic page, manage basic pages. We'll have a body field, whatever. Turn on layout builder, have allow each thing to be done. Layout builders only allow specific layouts. Ooh. Looks like. Oh, my other module is not up here. Need to have that. Okay, quality builder layouts. This one's actually like good. As far as I know, it actually works. Okay, so quality, I think I explained this earlier, but quality layout builder layouts is just some default layout builder layouts that we set up that have some cool stuff to them. I'm pretty sure they just kind of work, so that'll be good. Yeah. Okay, Fin, Drupal, module, install. Quality layout builder layouts. Okay, so now that is installed, caches are cleared. I will go back to this manage display, and we want to layout builder by default comes with some layouts, and I don't want to guarantee that they look good, so I'm not going to do them. So we have 1 center region, 2 center regions, 3 center regions, and 4 center regions. Those are the regions that we only want to allow people to do that, and we can say, oh, you're not allowed to place these blocks. I don't really care. Oh, and I know we got those like extra modules. Like we got that Claro module. I'm really curious if that like layout builder Claro. Yeah, we got it. So I'm curious. So now we should be able to create a basic page called home. So that's one thing that we do that not everyone does, is we do create home as an actual node. Okay, so we got home, and then you go to configuration system, basic site settings, and you say that's home. Okay, so now when you go here, you actually get that home thing. So we go layout. Oh, yeah, that does look a lot better. So we're going to go ahead and add a section. We had already said, oh, this is actually looking at the wrong thing. So we're going to go ahead and do on the home. So we are going to do this 1 center region. Ugh. Okay, so we need to change some stuff. But layout background color, we're not doing this. We have this stuff we come with like default background colors. There is no styling on them, so you need to style them yourself. Add that section. Gonna go add that block. We don't have any custom blocks. We should make those. Yeah, so we should have like quality layout builder blocks. Okay, but we don't have those. So what we can do though, because the WYSIWYG one doesn't matter, but under views, blog listing, home blog listing, display title, no thank you. 3, add block. Here's those 3. Let's go ahead and save that layout and reload it. And look, it doesn't work right. Why is that? I mean, it doesn't pull our template, and I know why that is because we haven't told it to. But it didn't do flexy things on them. So let's look at it. Oh well. Oh. Because individual blog posts view, I forgot to set those classes. That's why. Easy enough. So we go back to structure views, go to blog listing, go to the home one, and on this, individual blog posts. So that should be the same as main blog listing. We go here. What? So you remember how I was like, oh, you gotta choose this and say this block only? Obviously, didn't do that. Flex 101, blah, 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 individual blog listing. Okay, just this one. Home blog listing is the same deal, only this one. And like, I wasn't joking when I said it's a problem and it happens to every single person. It just happened to me after I said it happens to every single person. It's sneaky. Okay, still didn't do it. I did not do the flex classes either. Right, either. It's just a medium small. It needs to still be medium flex. Need to know what we're talking about. So, yeah, so don't feel bad if you get caught up and make mistakes. Like, I told you exactly what the mistakes are that people are going to make and how to avoid them, and I made them. Okay, so if you look at this, how come it's not 3? How come it's not 3 wide? I told it to be 3 wide. Oh, you know what? It's probably that this screen right here is only 2 wide. Nope. Ooh, there's this more link, which is inside of that. So that more link needs to be flex 1, 1. So there's something on these making these slightly wider than they should be. So what if I just go ahead and just go to like 33%? $480, huh? So okay, so we got this. Okay, I'm gonna go. So we go 1400 divided by 3. 466. So what I think it is I think that this image is 480. And this image is 480. So it is the fact that, I mean, I thought that these are set to not allowed to, they are allowed to shrink, they're not allowed to grow. Huh. They should be shrinking, but I think it's because flex wrap is turned on, and so they're like, well, I can wrap if I want to. Well, we could turn off flex wrap, but we can't because of the stupid thing like this. Because, I mean, if I go like ahead and say, hey, flex wrap, but then the views, so that's the issue. But it should be easy to accomplish because I'm just going to go ahead and once we get these tied into the right things, it won't be a problem. Okay, so one thing then is now we need to say, well, you should use our actual teaser template. We got a nice teaser template styled here.
how do we get it to start using this template right here? All right. Great question. So we are going to turn on theme debug in our Drupal website. So to turn that on, you go to sites default and you'll have this default services YAML. You will copy that and you will paste it, and you don't have permissions to copy and paste that because, you know, because sudo chmod, and I do this. That's another thing we got to add. Is to change the default permissions. Rename. Okay, services YAML, and you say twig debug to true. That's it. And what does that do? That adds a ton of comments to the HTML that tells you exactly what templates are being pulled and what templates it expects to be pulled. Okay. So then once that's on, the caches are cleared, I refresh, and look at it, all these templates, all these things. So what it shows you here is if we go to here and scroll up a little bit, it's saying, hey, I'm pulling from core theme stable template content node, and I would be willing to accept any of these templates. And we are going to go look for a node blog small teaser, which is not the correct thing. Freaking views, man. This block override. Main blog listing should be default teaser. Home blog listing should be default teaser. Come on! Every stinking time. Alright, so, doesn't matter. But now it says node blog teaser. So what we need to do is it's pulling from core theme stable template content node. So we go to doc-root core themes stable template content node. So then we copy, we go to our theme, we have a source, components, we have a templates. Let's make a new directory called content. Rename. No. New file. No. Paste. Node template. Boom. Default node template. Perfect. And then we're going to copy, and then we're going to go here and paste again. And then this one, because once we want to start pulling our own node template, just because it'll be much easier to copy again in a minute. So node blog teaser, and we're going to rename node whatever, all that crap. Okay, and then this is another one of those pet peeves to me. Remove the stinking comment. Just, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so this is where the magic happens, and I, like most people, I am going to look at how we did this on another website, because that is the right way to do things. Like, I've done this before, and I always forget. So let's just go to, like, this. Hopefully there's not bad stuff that you can see. Inaccurate. Themes, custom. Source, templates, no. Great. Boom. We're just going to copy this. And then we'll leave. Okay. Boom. That's all we got. Okay. So what we do here, we're going to keep that article and we're going to paste this. And so then I'll explain what is happening here. So what we're doing is we created this stack twig as a twig component. So what we need to do is we need to include it. And what we're doing here is we are mapping this right here. The key is these in the twig component, and the value is what they are in Drupal. Okay, so we can go ahead and delete all of this. We're going to go with article and let it get its default attributes. And then this is going to be
mega quality, and then this is going to be stack, and this is stack.twig, and this will be like what do we call it, like blog info, and we say set blog info, and then we go ahead, we got link. So ours is called URL. So we got URL, we got image, post type, title, body. That's it, right? URL, image, post type, title, body. Okay, so then you're like, well, wait, how do I get all of this stuff from the piece of content? Now, if you go back to the comments that I deleted, it will tell you some things. So, for example, URL, that is a default value that just exists. So that is super easy, which actually means we don't even have to pass it in. But we will pass it in because it would be confusing if we didn't. Okay, so URL passed in. Great. Image. Well, I don't know how to get the image. Great. Well, I'll show you how to get the image. Go to structure, content types, the content type that we are going to manage fields, and it is the answer is this. It's the machine name of the field. So it is content.machine name. Post type. Now, I'll just do this and we'll come back to this in a minute. Label, done. Body. I think body might be a default one too. No. Content, body. All right, so that is all of the information. But it's going to come across in ways we don't like, so we need to modify that. URL comes across exactly how we want. I'm fairly confident it is just a string link. Image, I'm pretty sure will come across exactly as we want because in our template, we're expecting it to be that. Now, post type, if it was just printed here, we would be fine, but we need that as a class as well. So this is going to come across in Drupal as a field, and fields are wrapped in divs with the class of field. And we can't have that there. So there are a couple things we can do. So we're using content, and content is the renderable content. But we actually can also access the node object directly. Instead of doing content, we could do node, and I think we could do value. I think we could do node field body type value. We'll try it. That's just one way. Just try it and see what happens. And so I'm saying it's value because, well, actually, maybe. It's hard because that is a taxonomy term, so value might not come across what we want. But it's okay. There are other solutions. Title. Label is close, but label is going to come across with most likely the H2 and it be linkable. So this one, we could do node title value. Body, we expect body to come across in divs and all that and be fine. Okay, so now we added a twig template. We have to clear the cache for Drupal to see that there are new twig templates that it should start pulling from. Now we're going to reload this page and see if it white screens. Hey, it didn't. And kind of looks okay. Now we run into an issue here, and this is the issue, the different height issue. I'm going to ignore because that really is an issue of us not using an image style that actually crops things to the proper height. So once we do that, that will be solved. You click the links and they are broken, and you'll see that is that. Well, so how come that didn't get passed in right? So let's go look at a template. It's because I screwed up, and I'm sure people have been looking at that forever and been like, hey, that's messed up. Great, so URL better. All right, so that's that. Look, I mean, we got the title in. That came in exactly how we wanted it to. Body came in. Like I said, it's wrapped in a div. And the read more is hard-coded in by us. The image, if you go here, it's wrapped in image. It says visually hidden. The thing, the image, itself is an article. It's 12 deep. Like it. Oh, you know what? We are missing, though. The buttons. So like I said, that would probably was not the right answer for the buttons. Okay, so what I would do, there are a couple things you could do. You could pop open Xdebug and use Twig tweak. Comes with an Xdebug function or whatever it'd be called for Twig. So you can Xdebug in your Twig templates. That's one way, but there's another way. We can say content. And then there we can just like say pipe render strip tags trim. So we're saying, hey, take the renderable thing, strip all the HTML tags out of it, and then trim any white space and stuff on it. And that should mostly work. And so that's useful because sometimes if you access the value directly, let's say it's like a Boolean, the value is going to probably come across as like a 0 or 1 or a true or a false or an on or an off because it's Drupal. But you might want, but the value that would render to the user is different. And you want the value that would render to the user, but not wrapped in divs and stuff like that. So you'd want to access the content value and then just strip all the crap off of it. And if you access directly from Node, it might just print the number 0. I'm pretty sure it'd print off because what are booleans even? Hey, look at that. Blog, video. Works. Now, let's see. It has a class of blog with a capital B. Okay, so now I think you can do twig lowercase or something. So you do twig lowercase. I could be wrong, but I feel like CSS doesn't like uppercase class names, but that could just be me being like, you're not supposed to do that. So great, now we say to lowercase as well, and then to lower. Hey, look at that! Once we did that, background orange. So let's go ahead and, because how we have that currently, we can go ahead and do and class of video. Boom. Hey, look at that. So we did that. Perfect. Now, this comes into a thing that I always struggle with Flexbox as well. Because Internet Explorer is a thing. I was struggling with this the other day, and I was like, I don't know what the right answer is. Because so you're like, hey, these aren't supposed to touch each other in the design. So we pull up the design, they're not supposed to touch each other. Well, a normal person would just say, hey, padding. Okay, look at that. Boom. Perfect. Done. Well, except in Internet Explorer, that breaks everything. So you're like, okay, well, how do you do that? Well, so you gotta put the... You can then... This is where I come with the next one. It's like, oh, well, I'll do... Do padding there. And you know what? This would work, but because the issue I ran into, because this is, you just cannot put padding on a direct flex child. That is what breaks Internet Explorer. And this is not a direct flex child, that's inside of it. And this comes into why we put the class of individual blog posts, because we could say individual blog posts should have this padding. But I ran into like another solution you can do on this is actually do margin. And it looks the same, but then you look at it, and like here, I mean, actually, this looks like it's doing okay. But when I did this on another thing, and it was slightly more complicated than this, is that it was like breaking out of its container and it looked all weird. And if you put like overflow hidden, it would cut things off. But whatever. So I'm going to do individual blog post. Now, this runs into an issue. We've styled stacks. And now we're coming into like, well, now this is specifically a CSS attribute that applies to this blogs. So what we do here is I make a new component called blog, because all components don't need to have twig templates. It could just be a style component. And what we do here, so we make a new component called blog, and then I'm going to make a new file called blog teaser.scss, and I'm going to go ahead and copy stack scss just because it has this global init and we want that, so we get our variables. Okay, and then we go down to this library file and we go blog teaser css component dist css blog teaser css blah blah blah. Done. Okay, now you'll see on our stack we're doing, hey, this attached library to say you should include the stack. Well, you know what? We just made a node template for teasers, and we made a blog, not for node teaser, for blog teasers, and we just made a blog teaser library. So that's obviously where you would include that. Perfect. And now we're going to go to this blog teaser, and we're going to say we got this class of individual okay, so we're going to do this, and it's going to be mad that this does, based on, I know how the linter is about like, that's not BEM, and it's going to be mad, and so we're going to show you how to ignore that. I mean, obviously, you should try your best to follow what the linter says to do, but when this is a class generated by Drupal, and there is stuff I can do about it, but I just don't care to. So for padding like that, I think percent works good because it's 4%. Oh, so now we need to look and try, like, what's this look like responsively? It breaks down to 2, 1. Like, I mean, that's okay. I mean, obviously the font sizes have the issue. I think what we need to do is stop them so they stay at this height, stay at this font size. But like, it's, I mean, hey, you know what? We have spent a lot of time. This is 4 hours on this stream, and I was going like an hour or so before I got kicked off the first stream because I hopped off my VPN. So, I mean, yeah, it's been a long time, and this is what we got so far. But, I mean, you know, we got a full running Drupal site. We created a couple content types. We have layout builder set up. We've gone through all of this, and we have that, which is pretty good. Let's see. I'm going to call that, obviously, I mean, there's a lot of work to do. I'm going to call that pretty stinking close to good. So then I'm going to go and do git checkout b crd19 findrush config export this config. Okay, git add -p, yep, add the layout builder to that, layout builder to that, layout builder to that, all that. Page teaser, yep, core extension, layout builder, generator, mega quality, preprocessors false. Set the home page, yep. System theme, node teaser, yep. Yes, okay, perfect. So we did a bunch of stuff there. Then git add config default block, all the block crap, because we added a new theme. Git add config. Yep. All of it's good. Git add doc root themes custom. All of that. Woo! Git add doc root services. Okay. So git commit crd19 created theme got blog teaser working. Boom. Git push. All right, so now here is when I would finally like include screenshots for sure, because there is actual, oh crap, my screenshotting tool, I'm using a different window manager than what I normally use because Wayland is weird and doesn't work right for screen recording. It works right in every other way, and that's why I use it. I'm like, hey, you know what? So take a couple screenshots, and then we do here. So new merge request crd19 into the D8. You do attach files. Attach these. Obviously, probably say some stuff. Submit merge request. And so then people can see, like, this is what I was saying, like, with HTML and CSS and JavaScript changes, it's hard to tell sometimes, but you're like, take a screenshot and be like, oh yeah, I see what that looks like. That's pretty cool. And then we'll go ahead and merge it, and then we will locally get checkout D8 GG poll, because it's merged already. Oh yeah, and that's always good. Oh, and the BEM line thing, I'll show you that real quick. I said I would, and I totally forgot. You do, sas lint :disable line space, and then you look at it says class name format, so that's where you have to put class name format. So you're saying disable the line for this specific rule, run the watch, maybe run the build, because I feel like watch, I don't think builds first. Obviously it didn't, and look at, boom, went away. Woo! Okay, we have done that ish. I kind of want to keep going, but man, my voice is raw. I'm at least gonna go ahead and stop recording temporarily and take a break. I will decide what I want to do about the live stream here in a minute.